All right, so remember I said that media queries is used to see how a web page is going to respond with different devices. So for this example, I'm going to use a very simple test to show you how it's going to work. All right, so I'm going to create a div with a class name of main container. All right, and then now we have a div, and inside this div I'm just going to have hello query. Yeah, all right, so that's all I'm going to have here. And if I run this, you can see it shows hello query right there. All right, the next thing I want to do now is to go and design my CSS. All right, so for now I'm just going to copy this link up here and paste it in a new window so that we can test the media queries effectively. All right, so now on my new window you should see it just like the way it showed on the other one, hello queries. All right, yeah, now let's go code the CSS. So I'm going to CSS and I'll be using this selector main container. All right, so I'm going to style my CSS using the same name I used right there. So main container. All right, curly braces, and then I'm going to start with width, and the width should be 100%. Remember, each line of CSS ends with semicolon. And also I'll say the height should be 100 VH, that's view height. All right, and then of course to centralize everything I need to put my flex box. So display flex, I'll say flex, and then justify content, center, and align items. Center. All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a background color, which is the main parameter we're going to be using to separate the whole media queries in this project. So if I run this now, it should be yellow and the rest of the stuff should be centralized. You can see we have media query right in the center there. And if I come back here to my new tab and reload this, you see that it goes to the center and it's also positioned properly. All right, yeah. So now the next thing I want to do is to test the media queries. So now to test your media queries, you just right click on your browser, and then if you're using Chrome, you click on inspect. If you're using any other browser, you see something similar to this. All right, now on inspect, you can see that at the top here we have different phone selections, and right here is where you can toggle the device toolbar. So if you don't toggle, if you click it, if it's unclicked, you see that it's going to expand this way. But for us to test it properly, we have to do it. We have to click it. All right, and then we can select the device. So for mobiles, we are going to be using iPhone 6, 7, 8 Plus, and for iPad, we'll be using iPad. That's for tablets. And then for bigger devices, we're just going to say Nest Hub Max. That should be a laptop, right? Yeah. All right. So this is what we're going to do. Let's start with mobile. All right. iPhone 6, 7, 8. All right. Now, so what we're going to do is that we're going to create our media queries now. And to create the media queries, we're going to say at media, and then you say screen, and you're now going to put and then this is where you put your parameter. All right, so the parameter now, that's your condition. I'm going to say max width. All right, and for remove this semicolon, for phones usually we use 425 pixels. All right, and where did I get these 425 pixels from? I'll show you right now. You can see at the top here for iPhone 6, 7 and 8 Plus we have 414 and the height is 736. If you also go to iPad, you see that it goes to 768, and if we go to Nest Hub, you see it goes to something bigger, 1024. Now that's how you differentiate bigger devices from smaller devices. Basically the width. The height doesn't really matter most times. Alright, so generally we use 425 for phones, we use 768 for tablets, and we use above 768 for laptops or bigger devices. Right, so max width 425, that means we're talking about what? Mobile devices. Alright, so I'm just going to copy the whole of this. I'm going to paste it back. Alright, so that means now if I switch to a mobile device, this is how this should show. Alright, this is exactly how it should show. It should show as the same with this. Alright, so if I go back here and I reload this page, you see nothing really changes. Alright, so to now make sure that on the phone it shows different from the way it shows on the tablet and on a normal stuff, let's change the background color. So I'm going to change the background color to red. So let's say red is for phones. Alright, and I'm going to run this again. And then you can see here is yellow, but if I go here and reload this, it should now be red. Good. And now look at the interesting part. As it's red now, if I switch to, let's say, iPad, it's yellow. If I switch back to iPhone 6, it's now red. So now let me show you something. Since this is the only thing we changed here, the background color is the only thing we changed, you don't need to rewrite all of this again. Alright, I can just take all this out and leave just the background color there, because that's the only thing we changed. Alright, now let's do for tablets. If I copy this, I'm just going to paste it back, and I'll just change this. So let's say green. And then of course I have to change the condition. So let's say max width of 768. Now if I leave this way, it's going to cause a problem. The reason is because the max width of 425 is also less than 468, and I declared this after this. So CSS might either select red throughout or green throughout. But let's see what happens. So I've run it now. I will run it again. And you can see it's green here, because this is most likely what a tablet size will look like. But let's see what we have here. Reload this. And you see, even as iPhone 6 is green, which means that there's a problem, because if I go to iPad, it's still green. But remember that on iPhone 6 we wanted it to be red. So this is what we have to do. We have to make another condition. So we now have to bring in minimum width. So let's do that together. So max width of 768, and alright, min width of what? Mean width of 426 pixels. The reason I put 426 is that as soon as we leave 425, the next one is 6, right? Which is going to make more sense that way. Alright, so let's try this again. To make this work, I have to put this in brackets. Alright, and put another bracket here. So this now says, oh, media queries of, if it's a screen, and the max width is 768 and the mean width is 426. Now if I run this again, we should have a better and expected result. So run this now. Okay, and then I'll go back here and reload this guy, and you see that this time around it should be red. And if I go to a bigger device, you see it's green. And if I go to a device bigger than an iPad, it's now yellow. Does that make sense? And to see how interesting this is, let's minimize the window. Alright, and I'm going to close this. Look at this. I'm going to drag a switch and okay, I can't get below this. Alright, but let's try this again. Remember, to see how it's going to look like, click on inspect. After clicking on inspect, it should show you the other window where you can now toggle device responsiveness. Alright, you can toggle here, remember. Alright, and now let's just see on mobile. It's right here. Mobile is still red. Still red. Tablet green. Laptop yellow. So if I drag this, you see, I drag this, green, red, green, yellow, green, red. Alright, so if you have any questions, the comment section is right there. I'm going to reply you. But if you feel that you don't want your question to be public, let everybody not see your question, please feel free to send me a mail at jukesdoze48@gmail.com. Alright, and I'll reply as soon as I get the mail read. Alright, so I hope you have a better understanding of media queries now. Remember, the main trick happens in the CSS. Alright, we have the background color is what I used in this case. And remember, you don't have to relist everything that you have written in the original one. All you need to do is to write what is changing this time around in every query. Alright? Remember, you can have a single condition or multiple conditions. Alright? So here we had just the max width, and here we had the max width and the mean width. And of course, we also had the screen. So that's all for this video. See you in the next video.